our beautiful, active, and articulate instructor, Dr. Alona. Good morning, Mom. To my handsome and pretty classmates, once again, good morning. So our topic for today is all about the content-based instruction. Together with Mom Samonti, we'll do the demonstration teaching. What is content-based instruction? So some of the questions of the presentation will be tackled later.
So content-based instruction, it means that content usually refers to the subject matter that people learn or transmit using language, and also content-based instruction, it is the teaching of language through exposure to the content that is interesting and relevant to the learners. So Howard 1984 notes that there are two versions of communicative approach, which are the strong version and the weak version. So the strong version claims that the language is acquired through communication, while the weak version, which has become standard practice nowadays, stresses the importance of the using of language for communicative purposes within a wider program of language teaching. Content-based instruction, participatory approach, and task-based approach belong in the strong version. While the three may seem different at the first glance, what they have in common is that they give priority to communicating. If the students learn to communicate by communicating, then the destination becomes one and the same. The central principle means that one can certainly say that people that are faced with everyday needs in a real-life situation might find it easier to acquire and use the target language as a tool with a real purpose. For instance, getting food, studying, and getting a job. So there are three models of CBI, which are theme-based instruction, adjunct instruction, sheltered instruction. So what are the differences between the three? So theme-based instruction focused on language and content, easily adapt to needs of learners, easily integrated into course. So the role of the teacher here is language teacher. And the second one is adjunct instruction. Means that coordination between content and language teachers is essential. So the role of the teacher here is need to be familiar with the content material. And the last one is sheltered instruction, focused on learning content, possible team teaching with language professional, used in bilingual schools. So the role of the teacher here is subject matter teacher. Rationale for content-based instruction. First one is thought of a teaching language for specific purposes, is also known as LSP. Second one is academic settings, language for academic purposes. Third one is competency-based instruction, is by studying vital life, coping, or survival skills. Fourth one is language across the curriculum. Fifth one is establish literacy in their native language. For example, the primary level, the kindergarten, grades 1 to 3, we used mother tongue, right? Because mother tongue make it easier for children to pick up and learn other languages. Because using mother tongue helps a child develop their critical thinking and literacy skills. And the last one is draw on what is known about how children learn. What are the experience of CBI? Thinking about the experience of CBI. Let us follow our customary procedure by listing our observations and principles. To sum up, there are many ways to approach creating a CBI lesson. This is one possible way. In preparation, a subject of interest is chosen, finding suitable sources that deal with different aspects of subject. These could be websites, reference book, audio or video of lectures, or even real people. And in lesson, using small groups, assigning each group of a small research task and source of information in the target language to use to help them fulfill the task. Reviewing the principles. The role of teacher and student. A good language teacher is knowledgeable in the subject matter. Be able to draw out the knowledge from students. Student role is to engage content and language. In CBI, teacher preparation can also help to understand the rationale for integrated instruction and give them practice designing lessons with language and content objectives and interesting, stimulated content material. And also the SIOP, which helps teachers describing effective practices. During the language class, teachers' focus is on helping students process the language in order to understand the academic content presented by the content teacher. And also the language teacher is also help students to complete academic tasks such as writing term papers and reading academic textbooks. In CBI, it includes whole language. It means that therefore whole language educators see errors as part of learning and they encourage students to experiment with reading and writing to promote both their enjoyment and ownership. Reviewing the techniques of CBI, first one is dactyl gloss. Through these processes, students become familiar with the organization of a variety of text within a content area. The second is graphic organizer. As you can see at my presentation, there are a lot of examples of graphic organizer. So in this graphic organizer, helps students to process the content material at a deeper level and then be able to use for language practice. The third technique of CBI, which is the language experience approach, which is writing story about their life experiences, practicing reading with the assistance of teacher. In this case, it is since it is the student's story, the link between text and meaning is facilitated. Fourth technique of CBI is the process writing, in a way that students learn to view their writing as someone else reading and to improve both the expression of meaning and form of their writing as they draft and redraft. The last technique of CBI is the dialogue journal, so enable learner to write for communication rather than to improve grammar and learn vocabulary. They write about thoughts, experiences, reactions to the text, or issues of importance to them, and the teacher here is writing a response but not correcting the content. Thank you for listening and have a good day and God bless you all.